Zelenskyy. If Russia withdraws to the February 24 borders, it will be a day of victory for Ukraine.
Here's a summary of the article.
President Volodymyr Zelenskyy believes that if Ukraine can defend the territories which Kyiv controlled until February 24, that will be a victory, and it will be a great victory to guarantee Ukraine's sovereignty and territorial integrity. There may be a question of postponing this issue. The solution may be this kind of compromise, and Donbass is Ukraine. We are not even discussing the status of any of those territories that were completely under our control before February 24. The withdrawal of the Russians to the borders as they stood on February 23 will be Ukraine's victory in today's war. I think so. Where we are, who we are, what kind of country we are, what we have lost, what we can lose, and what we have saved, our victory is to repel the full-scale war that began on February 24, I think. Zelenskyy said that the war for the occupied Donbass could now cost Ukraine 40 to 50,000 or even hundreds of thousands of the most experienced people, and then the invaders could return to Ukraine not even in a few years, but next month. Zelenskyy also responded to criticism that Russia would use a 15-year pause in resolving the Crimea issue, to bring even more Russians to the peninsula who will be against Ukraine. Today, if such terms are agreed with respect to Crimea, I believe this will be a victory for Ukraine.
This post received a score of 20,000, with an upvote ratio of 95%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Yep. Give up the 2014 borders. Repel invaders. Join NATO. And Russia remains sanctioned.
And just for context, they would still be able to join NATO even if they don't recognize Russian control over Crimea and those Donbass People's Republics. West Germany joined the NATO while it still considered the legal borders of Germany to be those of 1937. It didn't recognize East Germany, and it also didn't recognize today's German-Polish border.
And also Cyprus joined the EU while having their northern third occupied by Turkey. So there is precedent for that as well. Edit. People who can't read that are commenting this below. I'm very fucking aware that the EU and NATO are not the same thing.
At this point though, the question of Cyprus, as the UN calls it every year they draft a resolution about, is just a fact of life and will probably be the status quo for decades.
Turkey and Greece met to discuss the situation very recently in light of Ukraine invasion, so it may not be as far as you might think. Oh, Turkey also met with Armenian diplomats to discuss opening the countries up to each other. The invasion set off a truly interesting series of events in that part of the world.
Apparently Russian invasions truly heal old wounds.
Interesting. I think this is the best case military outcome for Ukraine. I don't see how it's feasible to take back Crimea, let alone hold it, without Russia outright collapsing.
The best case scenario is that the world makes holding Crimea really expensive for Russia.
Cold War 2.0. If you can't destroy their ability to fight wars, destroy their ability to pay for them. Wars are expensive and Russia is hardly in a position to bankroll a long and drawn-out war of attrition.
War is always, first and foremost, determined by who can absorb the expense. Human lives are as much, and sometimes as little, of the calculation as munitions and other supplies. Russia has historically been capable of expending many lives, but not absorbing the manufacturing and other economic costs. A country like Ukraine is now taking out $500,000 Russian tanks for $20,000 to $50,000, for example. Russia's economy is tanking, so to speak, and their rampant corruption brings into question their ability to replace those assets in a timely manner. We're watching a poor calculation in progress.
Ukraine is taking out Russian tanks for free at the moment in many ways. The Americans and British and so on and so forth are paying it.
If my tax dollars are going to destroy a Russian tank, I'm happy they're finally being spent for something useful.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.